Oh man, this is a lot of DLC. What is up, guys? This is Godzilla Suplex, and welcome to today's episodes. I'll be giving a news update on what my predictions are for the now 19 DLC characters. But before I do that, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time I make a video. So guys, let's get into this, because a couple of weeks ago, and I've been meaning to report on this, but I've been doing some other videos, some data miners on the Switch have also found, and these are Friend of Dynasties, a big MK YouTuber, has found that the files in MK11 have similar names to DLC characters. So what he says about these files is that, you know, they look all similar, but the difference is that there's not 12, there's 19 DLC spots. So I did an earlier video about my DLC predictions, which it was only 12. So now I gotta revamp that list based on these new details. And starting off, who do I think is going to be one of these 19 characters? And I'm just going to go from pack to pack, because I think what is 19 extra pack in a character. So just to cap off, the first character I think is going to be in the pack is obviously Shang Tsung. I mean, he's been awaiting his return. He's already been confirmed. The first DLC character be confirmed. And I think he's going to be such a great addition to the game. I think we really do need some of those more characters. You know, we know Quan Chi isn't coming back. We know Shinnek's not coming back. So we do not have a sorcerer character to really rely on. I mean, I think we have one in the game, and I'm forgetting this character's name, but he's not really true to the sorcerer type. I mean, what is it? Not Collector. I think Collector and somebody else, but really we really don't have any sorcerer characters that can shapeshift into the other characters to bring some of that complexity into the game. But then after Shang Tsung, I think we are definitely gonna see the cyborgs return in the first combat pack. We know they have playable models in the game, and Ed Boon said last time that, you know, they're not gonna do guest characters that are not playable that were in the campaign. So we know that these cyborgs are coming. Not that they're gonna come in the first DLC pack. They're gonna both be bundled with each other as one character. They're not taking one of the spots, and you're just gonna be able to get all their customizables. They'll both have separate committed 2-slot moves, and I think it'll be a great addition to the game. Having to choose either side sectors blowtorch, which is absolutely crazy, that frustrates so many people in the campaign, or Cyrex's buzzsaw. So it's gonna be definitely good to see these two make it into the game. Then they have teleport. They all they need is 3 different variations, or really 8 variation moves that can be played to competitive. So it's like it's gonna be really easy to put them in the game. They already have assets for them. They just need those extra 8 moves, because they already have a basic move set that which we saw in the campaign. So after those two, which would be much needed for the game, I also think that Shiva is gonna definitely make it. I think Shiva was also in the campaign, but she wasn't playable against or with, so it's a little bit hard case for her. But multiple leaks have confirmed that she is going to be DLC, and I also think she's going to be DLC. I think NetherRealm wouldn't have went through the trouble of putting her in if she was not gonna be some part of this game. And I think with their long DLC list, she's gonna definitely be in the first one, since we've already seen her in the campaign. So I think a lot of these characters that we saw in the campaign that we're not playing as, we're gonna see them in the first DLC pack. And I think Shiva will be a perfect, let's just think about what Shiva adds to the game with her 4 arms. She would be more of a melee character. I feel like she would be a mix between the Collector and Sonya Blade. Her inside combos, basic moves, can string out, can grab a lot, but doesn't have to use knives. She'd just be a good basic combo character, Collector, Sonya Blade mix. And I think that's what we really need for the game. We only have Jax and a couple of others that are really brawlers. And just to add another one just to really bounce out between the zoners and the brawlers and the mix of characters. So after Shiva is revealed in the combat pack, I think we're also going to get Sindel. She's been confirmed in multiple leaks, and I think that she would be a really great addition back into this game. You know, them having a lot of those customizable movesets, I think will work perfectly with the different powers she's had over the range of the series. And just to bring it all back, you know, she's probably not going to be a big part of MK12, so just bringing her back for this DLC ever since MK9 would just be great for the fans because we've been wanting to see her back. We saw her amazing render in MKX, even though she was not playable, which is crazy. So, just trying to rectify that mistake. They brought Baraka back, and I think they really need to bring Sindel back because, she could have multiple endings in the story. It's surprising that she was not in the battle, That's the problem. They messed over a lot of characters between this and the last one because, a lot of those Revenant soldiers, half of them we didn't see back. Like Sindel, where did Sindel go? So she never died or anything. So it's like, man, what are we doing right now? I mean, like half of the Revenant forces were gone. Like so few of them were in. And that's another really criticism of the 25 character roster. It just wasn't enough, especially in the story. Like the forces weren't enough, and they could have in that campaign killed off Sindel finally, but having her back as a playable character in this DLC will be exciting and will be great for the fans. But I'm just imagining now, what would she be? Would she be a mix-up character, or would she be a zoner? That's very interesting. I think she would fall somewhere in between that. But after her, we're getting another fan favorite back, as Ed Boon confirmed, not the character, but he confirmed that fan favorites are coming back. And I definitely think, because the leaks are saying this along with Sai Sindel, we are going to get Nightwolf. And Nightwolf is going to be one of the star characters in the first DLC. We know we're getting Shiva. We know we're getting Shang Tsung. We know we're getting the cyborgs. And having him and then a couple of guest characters will cap off the DLC. But he will be the star main favorite character. Sindel might be pushed back to the second one. But we know those two are going to be showing out. And having Nightwolf back, man, just with his powers, his moveset, and everything that's involved with him, I really do think that they missed out on an opportunity to bring him back. He could have been a great character, his dark form to put alongside what's their name, Chronica somehow, or bringing him back from the timeline, because I feel like he was still, actually, now that I think about it, he was alive when Chronica brought back the characters from Mortal Kombat 2. So, because he didn't die until the event of Mortal Kombat 3 after Sindel killed the whole roster. So, it was very viable that he could have came back. So, him not seeing him anymore, it's just kind of, just a little bit disappointing. But, man, having his power structure back with the different moves he could do with his hammer, and then having, his little spirit powers, I think it'll be great and will be a highlight. And really, I think his moveset along with Sindel will change the meta, where I think the cyborgs are going to fit alongside. The tier and the competitive nature is going to change once those two characters come out. But after Sindel and Nightwolf, I think that this character is definitely going to be in the game. We've been asking for him for years on end now, nearly up to a decade. Yes, it is Spawn. We thought he was going to get revealed at the Comic-Con event, but actually it was Noob Saibot, which, is okay. But him coming in the first DLC pack will just light fans on fire. Really, it's just going to be great to see him finally in the game. Leaks are confirming it. The creator gave him the license. Everything's lining up. He works perfectly in this game. We can incorporate multiple amounts of his powers in the move sets. The different ones. He could be a zoner, he could be a mix-up character. I mean, the sky's the limit for Spawn. I mean, he's using his chains. I mean, I just cannot wait to see his character trailer, and I think he's just gonna be off the chain once he is revealed. But after Spawn, another guest character that had been leaked out was the Joker, and I have mixed feelings about the Joker. I think he was fine just staying in Injustice. But, having him in MK, I guess is okay. I mean, I guess we can have more brutal and dark fatalities with him. I mean, that's the only reason why I see him. I think he's going to be in there just to fill out one of the characters. I think he's going to be a real weird character to play, bringing some of his powers over from the Injustice series. So it's going to be real interesting which Joker or style that they use for his rendition in MK, and really interesting what dialogue they're going to have between the different characters and him. It's going to be very generic, I know, but it's still going to be somewhat interesting. So after the Joker, we also have the Terminator being leaked out as a guest character. And unlike the Joker, I think most people are like, oh, this is a little bit understated. But I like the Terminator. I want to see what he's going to be like. I wish it's the old, more, not Mortal Kombat, I was about to say Mortal Kombat, Terminator 2 Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, or it could just be a plain Terminator robot. either way, like as the fight goes on, you see his skin peel back. That would be so awesome. But I really don't know how the fatalities will work. It would be a little different. Like, what would be the sound of him Jax hitting him? Like, that's so weird, you know, at the same time, so intriguing. So how would his blood come up? I mean, it would just be so confusing to me, which or how the sounds and every little thing would work. That would be a character that you would need a lot of development on. But on to the next character, Fujin, because, you know, Fujin has been wanted for the MK roster since, man, MK9. It seems like he was in MK10 and cutscenes, and he's probably gonna be in the later packs at the end of the game's life cycle, because it's going to be 19, but I think it's going to be dispersed over a number of years, probably in year 2, somewhere in year 2. And I think that he is going to make a really good character for the fans to really come into, with his different movesets, and him being also a demigod in the new Protector of Earth realm. But, you know, he's just going to be an okay character that's going to fit right into, you know, the meta of this game. But then after him, we also have Havoc, another long-standing character in the Mortal Kombat franchise, coming back from the 3D era that people really want to be in this game. I think they're finally going to bring him over, even though he's dead. And I think he's going to make for a great character in the game. He's going to be kind of one of those cheap characters, because what they tend to like to do is get all the characters that are going to be most well liked to a certain level. So I don't think he's going to be S tier, but I think he's going to be A or B tier. Just like what's his name? Not the Cyborgs are going to be B tier, but yeah, he's going to be on that level. So then after Havoc, we also have Human Smoke, who I think is coming back, and I think a lot of people want him. He fits in this game. You know, a lot of characters that wouldn't have fit in MKX suddenly fit in MK11, because they can now do multiple moves and have them really be spread out. So I think Smoke perfectly fits in this game, unlike MKX, which he was a cyborg in. And he could just have his own defined character, really be able to do different abilities, having a teleport ability, a throw down smoke ability, a teleport smoke ability, you know, just all these kinds of things, you know, that he sort of had with the cyborg form, but now it gets a full rendition into a character. So after Smoke, we have Rain, who 100% I can say that's going to be in this game. I think going forward, there's not going to really be much story-wise that they can do with him, but I think he's going to come back. He's going to be a really, really big character in this game's meta. He might be an S class, depending on what his abilities are going to be. And they're going to try and go all out with this character to try and get him back to where he needs to be. He's going to be a really, really played character. He's probably going to be the most used character, I think, or the most used DLC character out of this game's life cycle. People really want Rain, and I think they are definitely going to get him back. And on the other contrary note, you know, really another character, and a lot of these characters I've been hearing, you know, they're in the crypt and stuff, and people keep on saying, oh, they died in the crypt, all this and this and that, and I'm just thinking, like, the crypt isn't really canon. You know, the collector's there, but the collector got his neck chopped off, or in the original timeline got his neck chopped off. So this really has no place or time value in the Mortal Kombat universe, so you can't just write him out. And one of these people that we saw in the crypt is Reptile, and Reptile I think is definitely going to come back. He's a fan favorite. He was not in the game, to shock of many, and having him back, having his different abilities be split off, also makes him a very valuable player to come back. He's going to be another heavily used character alongside Ermac. Ermac is the biggest one that has to come back, because he never died technically in the story, along with Reptile. And I think you could have a couple of scenes with his tower and really be able to do a lot of good tower stuff with him, especially Reptile, because Reptile and Ermac can have good costumes to them. They really fit into the whole costume system of MK11, and I think they're going to be heavily played through, and their costumes are going to really be worth getting. So after those classic ninjas, I also want to see Rico make a return to the series. A lot of these characters have died, but due to the time travel nature of this game, I think that you can make an excuse to bring Reiko back. And for those who do not know what Reiko is, he is Shao Kahn's general. And in this current timeline, he really wasn't even mentioned, so it'll be good to finally see him back. But the next character I want to talk about is something a little different. It's the final DLC guest character. And a lot of people have been saying a lot of things, but I do think, in my humble opinion, that this is going to come out of left field, and a lot of fans won't know that they want it until it's here. And I think is going to be Talion from the Shadow of Mordor series. What character would be better in this game than somebody who already does a lot of slaying in his own good franchise? It will encourage people to go back and play the Shadow of Mordor games. Then on top of that, WB Games already owns it, so they could just put it right in. A Lord of the Rings character, it'll be great. You could have the One Ring in it, Talion with the Wraith Killer Brimwar. I mean, it would just be a perfect mix. And from a business sense, it makes sense because people are going to go buy Shadow of Mordor to find more out about this character, especially when they seen that one game got Game of the Year, and one game at the end of its life cycle, once it got rid of the loot boxes, could be considered a Game of the Year contender. So it would make perfect business sense. The gameplay would be great. Him having a sword also puts him well in there. Then he has different abilities, so I think it would be such a great mix if Talion were to be that final guest character in MK11. But the next character I have been quite critical of in the past, or as the last game, MKX. A lot of focus was put on them, and yes, I'm talking about one of the combat kids. And you know, a lot of fans say they want Takeda. Nobody's been saying they want Kung Jin, but a lot of people say they've been wanting Takeda back. I think Takeda, being a mix of Kenshi and Scorpion, really got the fans really excited to see him again. And you know, he didn't show up in this game along with Kenshi, who I think also should definitely be consideration to be in this game's DLC. But I think bringing both of them back would just be great for this game. You know, Kenshi adding his sword back, they could be different abilities with the sword and with him without the sword, and then, you know, kind of mixing up those three variations. So he already fits well into the variation system of MK11. Then his son also having good variations, you know, having good dialogue. Cassie, it's not Cassie's, it's Jackie's love interest, so they probably already will have dialogue written up for that. Then on top of that, you know, you kind of already have him in the game in one of the endings for Jackie, so it would just not only be a perfect fit, but a lot of fans want to see Takeda come back. You know, he's probably one of the most beloved outside of Cassie of the combat kids, leaving Kung Jin out there to dry. But the last DLC character was sort of hinted at before the game even came out, months before we knew, or we probably only knew half the roster at that point. But you know, a Spanish actor or a Brazilian actor came out and said, you know, he's very excited about this new character that they're adding to the game, and it was a male character and it was a love interest of Cassie Cage. A lot of people were saying, you know, some suspects out there, you know, but I really do think it's Jarek, Kano's son. We have not seen him ever since, you know, the old reboot, and I think this is a perfect time. Kano's getting pretty old, and you know, having his son come in and be the love interest to Cassie Cage will, I think, definitely complete the game. And I think this roster will really be complete with him, with the other ninja characters, the 19 characters. I mean, this game would be just out of the water. It would just be out of the water, because you know, in order for this game to continue on for years, you have to have characters that can be full of themselves to get the fandom excited, and drip feeding them and changing the meta based on one character. Then people are playing a whole bunch of this character, so it definitely makes the roster more whole, because the roster seems a little bit bleak and incomplete at this point. But years down the line, it is going to be very interesting to see this roster complete and who's the strongest, who's the weakest, because I think it's definitely going to change with some of these characters entering the meta of the gameplay. But guys, this has been the best Gojira in gaming. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, also hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time I make a video, and I will see you guys next time.